Get your films on with the Blurs.
Once an idea has taken hold of the brain, it's almost impossible to eradicate.
Unpacking movies has never been more spot on, woke, fire, and just plain lit.
They are lit all the time.
So if you're unsure whether or not to plop down some cash for a film, check out the Blurs.
When a man with a 45 meets a man with a rifle, the man with a pistol is a dead man.
Brondo's got what plants crave.
It's got electrolyte.
You really only need to hang mean bastards. But mean bastards, you need to hang.
Don't say you weren't warned. Here's Brandon and Jeff.
Hello, and welcome to a special review episode of the Film Blurs. I'm Jeff Stewart. I'm joined here, as always, with my friend and co-host.
Hey, everybody. It is Brandon Norwood. I think this is episode 178.
Yeah. I think.
There we go. All right, ball bags. We're here to talk about The Long Walk, the new movie by Francis Lawrence, adapted from Stephen King's very first novel. Off the rip, I gotta say, I'm very, very shocked on how this movie, well, specifically because the screenplay's by J.T. Molnar. That's the dude who did Strange Darling. That's a movie a lot of people liked. I thought was okay. I do think he did a great job adapting the script, but it really does take a skilled hand to make this type of movie work, because it easily could have not worked. And by that, I mean balancing tones, because this thing is playing on tone the entire time, in that it is pulling on your heartstrings to make you care about these boys in this situation, in this competition, but then also making it as nasty and gnarly and bleak as it possibly can. So while it is like a rough watch for multiple reasons, I was fully invested and fully on board and almost on the verge of tears watching it the entire time. Like, I gotta really give it up off the rip to Francis Lawrence for pulling that off.
Yeah, I 100% agree. So, I read the book. I read The Long Walk, which is under, for those of you who don't know, Stephen King has a pen name called, he goes by Richard Bachman. And he writes some of his more dirty, mean books under that moniker. So I read The Long Walk in anticipation for watching this movie. And the thing about it is everything in the book is on the screen. The thing is, the book is fucking boring. And when, after I finished the book and I watched this, like before I watched the movie, I'm thinking to myself, how the hell are they going to make this into a feature film? Because the book itself, it's an interesting concept, but it's kind of detached because you're only through the viewpoint of the main character, right? Garrity, right? So it's his narration throughout the whole entire book. And you become detached from all of the other walkers, right? Because you're only seeing it through his eyes. The thing about this movie is you're focusing on Garrity and I forget the other character's name, McGreevy, right? Those are our, two main heroes, but because we're not exclusively with Garrity throughout the whole entire thing, you do get to know and like these characters in a short period of time. That's the thing, right? This movie does with, what I would say 10 real main characters that we focus on. It does within the first 15, 20 minutes, what some movies can't do in their whole entire runtimes, which is make you care for everybody involved. and that's an amazing feat. I can't agree more with what you said. This movie by the end made me tear up. And
So
someone oh sorry, someone described it as Stand By Me meets The Hunger Games, and that's probably the best description I could ever come up with. I could
it's
hear.
definitely Hunger Games coded. And as much as I was excited to see this and see Francis Lawrence do another movie that's not a Hunger Games movie, by the end of it, as much as I love this movie, I did walk out saying like this nigga just made another version of Hunger Games, goddamn. But with that said, another thing that's crucial to making this movie work is the fact that David Johnson and Cooper Hoffman have chemistry because these are basically their relationship is basically the core of the movie, and you could kind of see like their brothership, and everyone kind of gravitates around that, and they kind of want a piece of it. And a lot of the other boys, they are open to it, but then you have the one kid, because every Stephen King property, whether it's a book or movie, always has a bully because that's what Stephen King primarily writes.
Right.
King's an older guy, so like the stereotypical bully is something that is very old school if you are of a certain age, because that type of bully did exist. So as stereotyped as it is, but like yeah, even the bully, like at the end of the movie, you start feeling sympathetic for the bully because then you realize what's going on with him. And you're just like, God damn, man. Now I see why you entered this contest in the first place.
Right. Right. Um and let's talk about the unflinching camera, right? This thing is almost a horror movie. The
I
way
mean,
they
I would say it
handle
is
I mean, like I
because
would
it's
say
more
more
of a thriller. It's more of a thriller, but I mean, it is in some respects a horror movie.
right, right, but like the way they handle the violence is unflinching,
Yeah,
right?
and as hardcore as it is, there is parts of it where it happens in the distance as the boys keep walking away from it, and even that I think is just as terrifying as what we do see. Like the very first kill in this has to be the most hardcore way I've ever seen somebody get shot in the fucking face. That is
Right.
that is fucking insane. And it happens like what, 12, 15 minutes into the movie?
I mean that really opens the movie. Like that's it,
Yeah, but how long into it was it?
I would say like 10, 15 minutes at the most.
Yeah, and then you
That's
get the title card, which was
right.
wild.
Right. Like, okay, this movie just started, right? Like that's how they're going to start it. Um, I I do think this is one of the better adaptations of a King book in a way that this is far, I think, superior than the novel or the novella or whatever like that. Because even though it doesn't spoon feed you the rules and the history of this dystopian future, right? Um, it gives you enough to know sort of what happened, and it kind of it it feels
Like we're
topical.
on our yeah, because it feels like we're
Yeah,
on our way there. Just
right,
because
right,
we're at a point now with capitalism where everybody's being exploited and nobody's realizing like it is just we're at a point of extreme capitalism where I'm just surprised that people are actively worshiping billionaires. And I'm talking about billionaires who don't give a fuck about you if you fucking fell down in their warehouse and you died. Like the mental gymnastics I see people praising people who are worth 3 billion, 3 trillion. I'm just like, you dude, why though? It's not
right.
you will never. Is it possible to be a millionaire? Sure, it's possible, but to be a billionaire, that is zero chance game. The fact that these people praise that shit, like hard work and dedication, I'm like, yeah, hard work and dedication will get you fired. I've seen it so many times where I see people who are quote unquote faithful to the company, do the best work for the company, and then they get unceremoniously fired, whether it's through text or HR meeting.
And here's the thing. Very few billionaires are good people.
Yeah, exactly that
Right.
too.
Like you have to be a downright villain to get to that amount of wealth, because there are graves buried all over the place
I
with the
mean,
people that you've crushed.
you got to think too. Most of the world has free healthcare, right? And
Mhm.
most of the world, a semester college at most costs $500. Here, whenever that's brought up, it is quote unquote socialism, because the people in power and the people who have the money don't want to help out on that. Even though overseas, they say that all comes from government funding, and and they have lower taxes than we do. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's happier. And I'm just like, yeah, if they can have lower taxes and free healthcare and cheap college, there's no excuse for this to happen too. Because they recently started. I saw people this age in this movie who were like Gen Z, Gen Alpha. They started asking them, because everything is now labeled socialism. That is, that would benefit anything that would benefit the common person is now being labeled socialism. They did a poll for people who are between the ages of 25 and 14 if they think socialism is good, and an overwhelming 85% voted in favor of socialism. And I'm like, that is what happens when we stop teaching the wrong things and you guys start putting emphasis on what's fucking positive as a negative, because eventually that negative becomes a positive because it's just basic fucking human rights.
So if this were the 1940s and everything that was unveiled in the New Deal was presented to people, all of those things would be considered socialism,
Yeah.
right? And so, like, uh, all of these people who are like, oh, fucking socialism's bad, fucking blah, 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 blah. Your grandparents and your great great grandparents, they thrived, or like they survived the Great Depression because of these social programs. And so it's wild to me that all the shit in the New Deal, right? All the things that happened to bring the country back from the brink of death would be considered bad now. It's wild to me.
Well, it backfired, huh? It backfired big time. And my point being is somehow, some way, as horrible as this situation is, like we have boys from all over the United States sign up for this contest to win a I don't know how much was it? How much money?
So it wasn't the amount of money wasn't
Disclosed,
disclosed,
right? So you
But
get the money and a wish.
right,
Yeah, I could see how this could easily fucking happen.
right, 100%. Like I'm surprised there's not like a long walk television show right now.
Oh yeah,
Right,
yeah.
the way
Like,
things
yo,
go.
I would not be surprised if the current administration's like, yo, we are enacting the Hunger Games just to pacify us. You know what I'm saying? They'd be like, hey,
Right.
get out of line. You're going to the Hunger Games.
Yeah. Um I and going back to the movie, so the long walk is broadcast, right? To the country, the world, or whatever, but you never see the people watching it, right? You just see the cameras. And I thought that was a really, really slick move,
Well, you
right?
also do see the world's perspective because they do walk by fans and shit like that. And
But
especially when
like,
they get to the end, they have all these people cheering and clapping and like, hate to say it, like they're treating it like a spectator sport.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, like for the most part, though, like that massive crowd, they're all faceless. It's the small towns that they walk through that have been devastated by whatever economic catastrophe that's really uh striking, right? And I appreciate the fact that we don't know what time period this takes place in, right? Because the technology is all over the place, right? So
Mhm.
there's some cars from the 70s, there's building designs from the 40s. It seems like the production designer just said every time, like every depression that the United States has gone through, let's take the aesthetics of those and throw them into this movie.
The one thing I do like, I gotta say also, besides the unflinchingness is the logistics of it, because I remember when they first started where I was like, "Well, how are they gonna eat? How are they gonna use the bathroom?" And they get into that right away, like, right
Right.
away, neither one is pretty because they also don't care if you have allergies.
Yeah. I mean, uh, uh, look, you sign up for this thing, but no matter what you got it. If you if you're in it, you're in it. Uh, and so I don't want to spoil anything for you who people who are listening. When we say it's unflinching, it's just not violence that's unflinching, right? There's
Yeah,
some other
because there's a lot of other things. Like, it
other thing,
is
yeah.
this is a gnarly movie, like, I'm not even gonna lie. One one thing I do wanna talk about is, specifically David Johnson's character, and
Mhm.
I'm looking up his name right now. Uh, Peter. There's a whole question mark around Peter, where I'm just like, because I'm so cynical and movies are so cynical, and maybe that's why I don't like Caught Stealing, because it
Mhm.
pulled the thing I thought this movie was gonna do, which I hated. Uh, is that you're waiting for the other shoe to drop with Peter.
Right.
And Peter, everybody's like wondering what's this dude holding back, and like what's his end game, because he's ready to befriend people on a dime. Which I'm just like, this is a competition where y'all all die. I was like, how do
Right.
you befriend somebody? But when it's revealed what's really going on with him and his secret, I was just like, damn, man, no wonder he is so desperate to bond with
To win
these
this, yeah.
yeah, and bond with these people. And same with Cooper Hoffman. Cooper Hoffman's keeping a secret on why he is actually in this contest, because everybody's like, "Yo, you got a mom. Why are you here?" And his backstory is presented, and I'm not gonna say a fucking thing at all, other than the only other person who has like a very fucking terrible backstory once it's revealed is
Is a bully.
No, well, yeah, but Ben Wang as Hank Olson,
Mm.
because he's talking some real dumb shit the entire time, and yeah, Hank. Once it's revealed what Hank, I was just like, oh man, yeah, you really didn't need to be in this shit.
So, yeah, all of these things are in the book, but they're handled so much better here. And the end is vastly different than the end of the book, which I think is it's better. It's a better ending. Um,
Yeah, because
Cooper Hoffman's character.
I like the end of this. I like the end of this very much. It's ambiguous, but it's
Mhm.
satisfying. It's bleak. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's bleak and
Right,
ambiguous, but it is satisfying.
right, right. And it, the whole entire thing with the Hank, uh, his uh, his backstory is the only one um in the movie that isn't handled as well as it is in the book. But everything else is firing on all cylinders. And another thing I'm going to shout out to, we all know Stephen King is white, right? He writes white people, right?
And he's not afraid
even
to
these,
put racism in his books.
right? Like as
Usually the
even
bully
book,
is the racist. That's how it
right?
usually goes.
Right. But like, there's just casual N bombs being dropped in it, throughout his
Hoover.
throughout his books. But I do appreciate the fact that the walkers, the boys, are all multicultural, and it doesn't feel like it's a stunt, right? Because these characters, like I said, you get to love them, you get to know them.
Now, what I'm very glad about with Francis Lawrence doing this is he's shooting on location again. I haven't seen him have actual locations and actual depth of field since I want to say Mockingjay Part 1. Even though Mockingjay Part 2 was in location and on sets. The only reason I say that is because the last Hunger Games looked like that was filmed, besides the shit in the forest, that entire movie looks like it was shot in front of a green screen, which disappointed me to no end. Like it how can I say this? It looked like every other Lionsgate movie that's not John Wick that has came out, where it just looks cheap, which is wild because that movie was expensive. So I'm glad to see that Lionsgate allowed him to go shoot in actual locations. Thank God.
Yeah, and actual locations, and the camera work here, the cinematography, it is not flashy, and I mean that as a compliment.
Right. It does subtle heavy lifting. I just think everybody had a good opening shot into the movie except for Mark Hamill as the Major.
Yeah.
Like I was like, yo, I thought of like two different ways you could have made his entrance in the movie be like real impactful and then what it was, which is just a cut to a close up of him driving up. And I'm just like, come on, y'all. That seems like some coverage type shit. Like y'all didn't have any shots planned.
But I think honestly that is purposeful because don't let the marketing fool you. Mark Hamill is a presence throughout the movie. Like you feel his impact, but he's only in it for like 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, and I read from other people that they were disappointed with how the Major was handled. They thought it was an underdeveloped character and there should have been a little more to the Major than what there is. But I'm like, I don't think there needed to be more, quite frankly. Like the dude's an evil piece of shit. I don't think you need anything else more than that. He's an evil piece of shit. How can I say this? I don't need every villain humanized. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like sometimes a dude's just a piece of shit. Like, sorry, there's sometimes you can't humanize a piece of shit, as we clearly see.
Right. And here's the thing. The Major isn't the major bad guy. He's not the main villain. The system, the game is the villain.
Right. He's just a major part of the machine.
Right. Right.
Like
so people complaining about like he wasn't flushed out like that. I don't need him to be flushed out. Right. I don't give a fuck about him.
He's not President Snow, is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
Like President Snow was the machine. You know what I'm saying? And I guess that's what made that last Hunger Games disappointing, is that you see how he became the machine. And that is just by the machine breaking him down to a point where he lost his humanity and his family got fucked over by the machine, that he was just like, okay, well, it's my turn to take this shit over. And that experience made him an evil, bitter person who just made the machine even more evil and bitter. So like, I don't think we need the Major's backstory. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the big, it's like the High Table with John Wick, where we never see the High Table. And honestly, I appreciate them not having that here. Whereas in John Wick, I honestly would have probably liked 4 much better if the 4th movie was literally about him trying to get to the high table and wipe them out.
Right. And I use this analogy all the time when people complain about not only prequels but like villains and stuff like that. I always take Jaws as the example. I don't need to know why the shark is pissed off. I just need to know that there's a pissed off shark.
Oh, nigga, I'm seeing that shit in 40X 3D Wednesday. I'm excited.
Oh, it's in 40X? Oh, shit. All right. I'm about to buy a ticket for that.
Um.
Oh, wait. When? Oh, shit. We got the thing on Wednesday.
Yeah, that is why I'm going in early.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think everybody has to understand there is no man behind. It's not like the Wizard of Oz where there's a man behind the curtain every time. Like, y'all, like, not every villain's gonna be the Emperor, and even the Emperor didn't have a backstory until the prequels came out, man. He was just a dude in a chair. You know what I'm saying? He was just a dude in a chair running the shit. That's why I hate one of the to get off topic a little bit. It's one of the complaints I have about the sequels is everybody bitching about Snoke. They're like, who's Snoke? Why is he here? Why? And I'm just like, well, it's the same. He's the Emperor. Like, honestly, he's just a placeholder for the Emperor. Who the fuck was the Emperor? We didn't know who he was until the prequels.
Right.
Like, not everybody needs a backstory. Sometimes it, like I say, an evil piece of shit's just an evil piece of shit.
You just need a villain.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need the evil force to triumph over, and that's it. Right. Some stories become more flushed out and better with the villain's backstory. A perfect example, Wicked. Right. All right. That's an example of the backstory making the entire thing better.
Well, that's like the Odyssey. You know what I'm saying? The Odyssey. Right. Most of Odysseus's suffering comes from the gods, and the gods are doing it just because they're petty. You know what I mean? They take every little thing as a slight, and they're just like, all right, well then, nigga, I'm gonna make sure you don't get home. It's just that simple.
Right.
And yo, listen, I want to tell y'all, when y'all go out into the real world, people will fuck petty shit all the time. It's just because everybody has feelings, and they don't care about your feelings, but they care about their feelings. And sometimes they don't even care, and sometimes it's not even about their feelings. Sometimes they're just like the Joker. Some men just want to watch the world burn. Like, they just get off on other people's misery. It's just that simple.
Right. So, yeah, I haven't heard any complaints about Mark Hamill's character. But any complaints we've kind of addressed, fucking stop it. If anything, I just don't like the way he played the Major. He played it a little too broad for me.
No,
right? A little too scenery chewy for me.
No,
but I'd say it did not take away from my enjoyment of the movie because, like I said, he's only in it for 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, look. This movie is literally about these boys trying to survive this and the brotherhood that they build along the way. That's like people being mad at Shawshank Redemption and that we don't understand why the prison rapist was raping Andy and then why the warden was evil. It was just like, yo, listen, people are shitty. Like,
yeah.
Also, some of the most evil people are prison wardens because they abuse power.
Right. I mean,
like,
look,
you know how many. Go ahead.
Like, anybody with power has the potential to abuse it. But like, here's another but it's also an example of the warden in any of these prison movies isn't the central bad guy. It's the system that's the bad guy. They're just a part of it.
Yeah, I mean, I went on a fucking Wikipedia, as I was editing the show last week, I went through a Wikipedia black hole while I was listening, and I've
Mhm.
learned that 10 prisons in US, 10 women's prisons. Let me make that distinction. 10 women's prisons in the US have shut down, the most recent in 2021 or 2022 because of rampant rape.
Yeah, 100%. I'm uh I'm surprised it's only 10 that have shut down because of this. Um it Look, it was a whole entire fucking sub plot in Orange is the New Black.
Y- Nobody was raped by the guards. They were having inappropriate relationships with the guards in that show.
But like here's the thing. If you are in that kind of situation where you have that much power over somebody, right? Like you're forcing them, right? Like
Not
you,
with not with these other cases. These other cases, it is very clear, like, oh, these ladies are being beaten with nightsticks and raped. Like the one prison they literally called the rape factory. Like
yeah, I mean,
people would like guards would put in a request to transfer there just to get their dick wet.
oh, Jesus Christ. People are horrible. People and so yeah, a villain doesn't need a backstory. A villain just needs to be a villain, and we see that every day in the world.
You
And
know
this
what I'm
is a perfect
saying?
example of that.
You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? Why was
yeah.
Saddam Hussein such a monster? I don't know.
Look,
Why was Bin
look,
Laden such a monster? I don't know.
yeah. I
Why
mean,
did Timothy McVeigh decide to blow up the Oklahoma City? Because he didn't get his benefits, his VA benefits. He could have went about that a different way. I don't know.
right. Yeah, like I mean, we know, but it doesn't take away from the fact that they did the things that they did,
Yeah, man. Yeah,
right?
man. Like, yo, like we all know why the Columbine kids shot up Columbine.
Mm-hmm.
It still doesn't help anything.
Right.
Like we're still
Yeah,
searching for answers today.
we're
Like, yeah, they
still
were bullied, but like that was a small fraction of it.
right. Look, I was bullied, and I haven't killed anybody, right? So it's a culmination of a whole lot of things, but the end result is an asshole's going to be an asshole.
Yo, listen, like I got
Look,
look, one of the most infamous prisoners in the UK, Charles Bronson. He even
mhm.
said, he's like, yeah, people think I grew up from a broken home. He's like, no, I came from a upper middle class family. My parents were good people. He's just like, I just like crime.
Yeah, yeah. So let's let the psychologists try to discover why these people did what they did. Watching this movie, you don't need to try to fucking delve deeper into the Major's backstory. It doesn't help the movie.
Yeah, yo, not at all. Not at all. Like I said, the movie's basically about Brian and David or
Yeah,
Peter. It's
yeah.
their story.
It's about the boys. It's about the people on the walk.
Yeah.
And
Excuse me,
so
Raymond and Peter. I keep forgetting Cooper is Ray.
um,
Man, I
Ray
kind of
Gary.
wish Philip was around, man. Because I have a feeling Philip would be so proud of what Cooper's doing.
Mm,
Cooper's turning into a fine actor. I'll say that.
yeah.
Damn,
Yeah.
bro.
I mean, uh so yeah, I don't really have anything else to say without spoiling the movie. Right? I will say go to a fucking theater to see this.
Yeah,
And see it with people
it's
because the
coming out
sound
in
is
Dolby. So see it in Dolby. I like pay the premium for Dolby. It's worth it.
the sound mix on here is fucking incredible, right? And you'll feel it, right? Like the gunshots, the other sounds that you're going to be experiencing. It's worth it seeing in a theater with a whole bunch of people, all of you kind of
Yeah.
feeling the same emotions at the same time.
To piggyback off what Jeff just said, the gunshots in here are ridiculously loud. They sound like cannons, and that's by design. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I think this has some of the most realistic gunshots in a movie. You know, it ain't movie gunshots. This is like, oh no, this is actual gunfire where you're like ducking and covering. It's like
Right.
warfare. You know what I'm saying? Like every time they shot a gun in warfare, I was just like, oh Jesus, I hope they stop.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, that's the whole entire movie in a nutshell. I want all of this to stop,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
I want off the ride.
Yeah. This is like hour and 40 minutes. So just like
Mhm.
Warfare, it's not too long. And both movies, you absolutely want the experience to end. I will say this is a more entertaining experience than
Right.
Warfare because the characters here have a lot more to them. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Rather than recounting on an experience they went through, this is actually like a movie with character arcs versus like, hey, we lived through this shit and this is just a battle we lived through.
Right. Right. Um, we're on a historic run when it comes to Stephen King adaptations, right? The Monkey, I loved.
Yeah, you
Uh,
loved.
look, it was
You
coming
loved.
from that director. Look.
Yo, listen,
Um,
he has another movie coming out later this year,
mhm.
and he already posted to his Instagram his next movie because he delivered the final script to Neon, so he's going into production soon on his next one.
Yeah, well, good for him. S- I,
He
I'm going to
is
take it as I see
Neon's
it.
Ari Aster. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Except I will say, so far, Ari has made one movie that I love much more than any of Osgood's movies, but as a
Mhm.
whole, I as much as I don't like this dude's movies, I prefer them over Ari's fucking run of movies, man.
No, I feel you on that. I feel you on that. But yeah, we had
Because me and
yeah,
you, we disagree on the movie we love from that specific director.
right. I
You, it's his
love
first one. Me, it's his second one.
right. I like Bo is Afraid. The more people tell me about Bo is Afraid, it's like I don't want to.
You don't want to watch
And
3.5 hours, man, of Jewish Lord of the Rings?
it's no, I'll get around to it eventually, but I'm not gagging. And Eddington was fine.
No, editing was the epitome of some both sides are evil. N- Isn't that crazy that we lived through this? Ha ha ha
Right.
ha 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 ha. And you know what? I'm gonna repeat what Robert Daniels said because he has a
Mhm.
good point. Robert Daniels, a black critic I respect. He goes, uh, I find it smug and annoying how the portrayal of Black Lives Matters was in uh Eddington, and I understand the point that Ari was making is that it was supposed to be smug and annoying, but not only is the movie smug and annoying about it, the people who love the movie are also smug and annoying on how it's portrayed. And I'm just like,
Mhm.
yeah, that's the entire movie. That's the entire
Right.
if we that's the entire movie is smug because we all lived through this and I gained nothing from watching this other than it just we're
Like
currently living through it still.
like I said in our review, I wish the entire end action set piece was just the whole entire fucking movie.
Yeah, man. Can you imagine that? Like, it could have been cool if it was just like a movie about a small town sheriff who's losing his control over the town, and then it
Mhm.
just ends in a fucking shootout. That would be cool than what we got.
Right. Right.
Because I mean, what we
And
got was some fucking bullshit. I ain't even gonna
it's
hold
like
you.
it's mediocre white man syndrome. That's the whole entire movie is like uh is mediocre white men doing mediocre white men shit.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Like, I'm sorry, y'all. Like, Yeah, I'm gonna repeat this right now because I finally found the tweet. I find the Black Lives Matter scenes in Eddington deeply smug and annoying, which is the point, while also finding Ari Aster's take and the people defending it just as smug and annoying.
Right.
And I like his review on Letterboxd, which is just like, hey, white people can say anything they want about anything, and people will call it genius. And I was just like, yeah, oh yeah. That's exactly how I felt walking out of this. I was just like, fuck you. And the thing that pissed me off the most about Eddington, because I don't give a fuck now that it came and went. Like, nobody saw this motherfucker. The one thing that really pissed me off was the white kid and somebody on Twitter. There's an Indian guy who goes to screenings that we see a lot. If you know who I'm talking about, he wears the scarf and he has his hair in a ponytail like me sometimes.
I think so. Yeah, I think
Siddhalant Adakant. I'm sorry if I messed up your name, but even he said, the white kid in it who is going hard for the Black Lives Matters movement because he wants to get laid. He actually does at points try to engage with it, and the movie denies him that engagement because his father even calls him out saying, "You're fucking white." And instead of having him face the realities of him being a white guy trying to support a minority movement and have him actually delve into it, they just brush it off with a joke and keep it moving. And at the end of it, he pivots like a lot of these white dudes do to conservatism and start making money off of conservatism. And that I remember getting to that point in the movie where I was just like, this movie was already had me at fuck you, but now it's really super fuck you when we got to that point, because that's not funny, especially since I see this time and time again. Fuck you. So like, that might as well have been Elon Musk.
I'm going to sum up Eddington and just the world we're living in general. It's the last season of Atlanta. It's the episode in Amsterdam where Paperboy runs into Liam Neeson, right? And Liam Neeson goes through his whole entire speech talking about, blah, 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 blah. And he looks at Paperboy at the end and goes, yeah, that's the great thing about being white. I don't have to learn a lesson unless I want to. And that's pretty much,
Shit, I just thought about that. Yeah, Atlanta handled that better than fucking Eddington. And it didn't piss me off. Because at least they were self-aware to say that shit.
And the fact that they got Liam Neeson
to say that, yeah.
Like
after all that black shit he was spouting.
Right. Like, to be like an actual apology in an artistic way.
Right.
Right? It's if people haven't started watching Atlanta, it's been off the air for what, 3 years?
Yeah.
Like, go back and watch Atlanta. It's fucking brilliant.
All this to say that I agree with Jeff on how this movie handles race, and that they don't. And that this is just everybody's in it together, because this is how dire the future is like, oh no, there is no race. It's just like, hey, even the major is so happy at the end of the movie. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I'm not going to say what it is, but it's come down now to survival and not about race. And I have a feeling we're going to have to get there eventually, because statistically, and this, again, I've been doing a lot of reading just because, motherfuckers don't read, since now they're saying 30% of people read. And I was just like, oh, wow, that's wild.
Sorry, what?
Yeah, 30% of people read. That doesn't include books, because I read books, and I know people like, why do you read books? I'm like, because it keeps the brain going. That's where all the knowledge is. Yeah,
that's where all the information is in the books.
But that includes magazines and newspapers, and even internet articles.
Not even internet articles? They're not even reading those?
No, man.
Jesus Christ.
So, oh man, what was the point I was making? I was reading something, and it was leading to a point. What were we talking about before this?
No, we were talking about you- race and like how it's
Okay,
like
yeah,
there's
yeah,
no
yeah.
race.
So
Right. Yeah.
so race. Here's the thing. I read that race, as a general worldwide consensus, uh, America is still the most racist country on earth. And trust me, there's some places on earth I don't want to go, and they even said like, nah, as bad as it is there, it's nothing like here in America. Apparently, in the world's view, America's biggest export is racism and xenophobia.
Will not disagree. Yeah, that's 100% fucking accurate because the rest of the world has figured out that it was never about race, it was about money, right? It's not black versus white or white versus brown. It's about rich versus poor.
And that's
But
what
in
we don't
America,
and that's what Americans don't understand here. That's why it's so
right,
crazy to me to see the poor people rallying behind. And I'm just like, yo, y'all understand, like, y'all the first motherfucker. Once all the minorities and
right.
how can I say this? All the marginalized people, once we're wiped out, it's going to be you next. Like, there's nobody rich people hate more than poor people. So you're
And
the
like
first people.
let's bring it down to like the street level. When there are no more niggas, you will become the niggas,
Yep.
right? Like that's 100%.
And I like that this movie makes that 100% clear because who were all in this contest? All poor and disenfranchised people.
Right.
Even a person who clearly has undiagnosed mental health problems is in this shit because they probably, again, we're in a place now where mental health is being frowned upon. Or be a
Right.
man, be a man. I'm like, yo, sometimes it's not as simple as being a man, dog. Sometimes
Like
yelling at people to be a man gives us fucking Columbine. You know what I'm saying?
look,
Sometimes being a man gives us Timothy McVeigh. You know what I'm saying?
and here's the
Sometimes
thing.
being a man gives us Jeffrey Epstein.
Is when people say be a man, all right, cool. Face your fucking fears,
Yeah.
right? Be unafraid. Be better. You know?
There- One thing I've learned recently before we go, one thing I've learned recently is that during lockdown, I looked inward. And I looked inward, and when you look inward and you have nothing but time and you're sitting there with your own thoughts and you're looking at yourself in the mirror and you're just like, fuck, man, I do not like myself. And not for physical reasons, just for spiritual, emotional, and just your soul as a person. You do a
Mhm.
lot of introspection, and I realized that nobody during the pandemic actually sat down with their own thoughts and their own feelings and did any inward introspection, and everybody has come out much worse for it.
Yeah. Um, we we didn't come out as better people. We just came out with a different skill set, right?
Which
So
is
just
more
because you
anti-socialism, you know what I'm saying? Like, we
right.
somehow, and this is coming from somebody who's pretty fucking antisocial, I'm just like, yo, how did the world in large become more antisocial than I was before lockdown?
I mean, honestly, we were on this trajectory anyway, just with social media and everything like that. This just kind of accelerated the shit.
Do you think it's main character syndrome?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. I think that's a lot of it. Like 99% of it is to blame on that.
Yeah. It was
Like, Jeff, I saw on Reddit some leaked from dash cam footage. Some lady tried to say that she some car swerved into her lane and that's why she got into an accident. She was in a
mhm,
Temu rental car. Apparently the dash cam footage leaked out. This
mhm.
bitch was texting so much that at one point she takes both hands off the steering wheel and starts texting like this.
Oh, word. And like you do some dumb shit like
Yo,
that,
I
right?
saw that. I was like, yo, nah,
And you get
son.
into an accident, you are
No,
not the
son.
victim.
Or somebody was, I saw another one yesterday. Some girl was recording a TikTok and she lost
Mhm.
control of her car. And she was doing a Britney Spears TikTok. And she lost control of her car and the car fucking barrel rolled 2 times. And the first thing she does, not unbuckle herself and crawl out the car. First thing she does is make sure she grabs her phone, bro, and make sure the phone's okay.
I hate this. I hate this world.
Like,
Listen, this is
like, bro, I'd be fucking flipping out. Like, yo, my car's fucked up. Oh my God. At least I'm still alive, but God damn it, my car. Nah, she just has a look of shock and grabs her phone.
And like, how many followers do you actually fucking have, right? Like, who are you trying to impress? You are not. If it wasn't for this fucking phone and TikTok, you would be nothing because you are a hollow person with no talent.
You know how
and
she
I'm
lost.
mad that you didn't die. I'm sorry.
You know how she lost control of the car? She took a turn too fast, and so she swerved one way, and she turned too hard the other way to get the car back in control on some real Casino Royale type shit. Yo, Casino Royale, that is the most violent car crash I've ever seen in a movie, dog.
And all this for a fucking TikTok. A Britney Spears TikTok. Go fuck yourself.
Yo, if I'm gonna try and find it, I'll send it to you later. That shit was hilarious.
Man.
I was just like,
People are-
the look. The funniest thing though is as soon as the car starts rolling, is like the look on her face where her eyes are bulging out of her skull, like she's in shock, and not even like she still has her seatbelt on. Like if she wasn't wearing her seatbelt, she would be dead. But she still has her seatbelt on, and she don't even unbuckle herself to climb out. She just grabs her phone.
And I know it wasn't grabbing the phone to like call 911. It was grabbing the phone to finish the TikTok and then make another TikTok about how she was in this horrible accident.
I think she was grabbing her phone to make sure the phone was okay, first and foremost.
I mean, it's all part of the same dysfunction.
I mean, the lady who was texting and driving, thank God she didn't kill anybody because it was a 2-lane street. So there's cars coming towards her and she was going in the opposite direction. I'm glad she veered off into a ditch. So and not what she actually claimed what happened, because you could see in the video she's texting, and as soon as she goes into the ditch, she starts screaming. She goes, ah, 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 ah. And it's just like, I mean,
I want to see the text message, right? Because anything less than, hey, I'm texting you the cure for cancer, right? The genetic sequence for the cure to cancer. Anything else, it could have waited. So I hope it's not some dumb shit like what's for dinner tonight?
I mean, one of the worst nights of my life was Jeff came to a party with me in Brooklyn. And as I'm driving up, friends are texting me. And I had to hand you my phone and tell them, like, can you please tell these motherfuckers I'm driving? And they kept texting. And you're like, Brandon, what should I respond? I'm like, respond that I'm fucking driving, man. Like, I'm not having a full-on fucking conversation with these idiots. Like, this shit, all the questions they were asking could have waited to when we met up in Brooklyn.
In a half hour.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we were almost there. All right? Yeah.
So that is our spoiler-free review of The Long Walk, and that is episode 177. We're the Film Blurs. I'm Brandon Norwood, and I'm the motherfucking protagonist.
I'm the protagonist.
I'm Jeff Stewart, a.k.a. He Who Remains.
Don't come at us. It's just fucking movies.
You've been listening to the Film Blurs podcast.
Man, I just love what you guys do, man.
I never miss an episode. It's the best. It's my favorite podcast.
Follow Jeff on IG on MindFire XL and Brandon on Twitter at BJN Tweets.